Hey everybody back there, hey everybody out there. This is totally incredible.
This is amazing.
This is the first concert that we've ever played in front of human beings in New York City in literally a year. So here's to that. Thank you guys.
It's amazing to, for once, do a live stream where the acoustics are as great online as they are in person in this amazing Atterbury house with incredible acoustics, and great to have the live applause too. So thanks to Laura for hosting this, and thanks to Atterbury House Sessions for having us.
This is going to be an amazing night. We're super psyched to play for you guys. You probably already figured this out, but this is Michael Thurber, and I'm Tessa Lark.
A lot changes over quarantine.
Quarantine has gotten weird. and we're going to play a bunch of music for you. So over the course of the next 50 minutes or hour, you are going to hear music that spans the last, 350 years, basically. And the short answer is that we're basically just going to play everything that Tessa and I love. Tessa and I both are musicians that are of the belief that you got to be honest to your influences. And as Americans, there's a lot of music and a lot of culture to be influenced by. So that's sort of the short answer. The longer answer is that part of what we're really passionate about is sort of finding the interconnectedness between older traditions of classical music and folk music. And so that was sort of at the backbone of us starting to play together as a duo. And it made it really easy because in addition to both of us loving and playing a lot of classical music, Tessa is from Kentucky.
Yes, born and raised in Kentucky. There's some Kentucky fans in the house.
Kentucky in the
house.
house.
Makes me proud. My father plays bluegrass banjo, so I grew up. Mandolin was my first instrument, so lots of bluegrass and Scots Irish and American folk influence. And Michael grew up learning a lot of jazz and bebop and blues, and so we really enjoy putting those influences together to see what we come up with. And another great influence of ours, and every Western musician, is J.S. Bach. And so we also really loved working on his music. His inventions in particular for piano solo, all of his music is just so indestructible that you can play it with any instrument. And we found that because there's so little written for violin and bass that we could just play those inventions as they are written. I play the right hand and Michael plays the left, and they sound really great. So we take a lot of inspiration in our music from Bach as well.
Yeah, so with that said, we're going to jump in. You're actually going to sort of hear everything that we just talked about in these next two pieces that we're going to play back to back. The first is Bach's first piano invention in C major, and then we're going to go right into one of our original tunes called Tumble Time, named after the setting on the dryer machine, and you'll hear why. And it's also in C major, and it's sort of thematically based off of the C major invention. Another great thing about our set is that everything we play is very short. So if you love something, don't worry, there'll be more. And if you don't like it, just deal with it because it'll be over in about 2 minutes usually. So we're going to jump in. This is C major and tumble time. Okay, warming up after a year.
Yeah.
A year just hanging out,
Woo,
eating potato
those
chips.
nerves are flowing, and it feels.
This feels amazing. This is great. We love you guys. Thank you for coming and listening to this. We're gonna keep this party going. So let's do 3 Bach, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's go for a little mini Bach suite, if you will.
Yeah, so we'll keep going with some of the inventions. We'll stay in C, but we'll play the C minor invention. What do you say? Go into D minor.
Yep, love
invention,
it.
yeah, and F major.
Love
How's
it.
That?
Great. I'll
Sounds
see you.
good.
I'll see you on the other side.
Wish
me luck. All right. C minor, D minor, F major.
Oh, I always I feel a little guilty playing those because I'm just over here, you know. It's not so difficult on the violin, and I look over at Michael. He's breaking a sweat and moving like 8 feet on his fingerboard.
I'm sweating. This is
amazing.
This is the first concert in a while. I'm like, woo! This is how this thing
That
works.
is some Paganini virtuosity over there on bass.
Oh man,
that's
come on!
Amazing.
She gets more of the check for saying nice things like that. That's how that works. We're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna dive back into an original tune. So this one, especially, you're really going to hear a lot of Appalachian influence from Tessa's fiddle background. Similarly to the first tune we played, which was a tune called Wooden Soldier, that Tessa and I wrote together with the help of one of my friends who I used to play in the Colbert Late Show band with, Eddie Barbash, who was the saxophone player in that band. And he also has a great affinity for Appalachian music. So this tune, Cedar and Sage, is what we're about to play next, has a very heavy American influence. It's a pretty cool story about this. So I don't even remember how it happened first, but it was sort of two things that happened. Tessa had an awesome fiddle lick that she was playing that you're going to hear in the climax of the piece. And then I sort of have always had this idea of taking a guitar pattern that you normally hear like folk and country guitar players play. It's like a finger picking pattern, and trying to apply that to the bass. And so those two things, Tessa's lick and this idea of like playing guitar on bass, kind of like came together to create this song. So you'll probably hear those moments when they come. Anything else we should say about this one?
I think that
did I do okay, or am I fired?
You did so good. maybe I'll give you that extra part of the check again for that little setup.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite tunes for us to play is Cedar and Sage. So here it is. Woo! It's a small but mighty crowd
Yeah, this
back
is the
there.
biggest
Sounds
five-person applause I've ever heard.
Yeah,
You guys are amazing.
it's amazing.
This feels so good in here. This is such a great vibe. I wish, I hope you can feel through the camera like how nice this is. This room is beautiful. It sounds good. We're so excited to be playing. So we're sending you that energy through the camera. We're going to keep playing. Before we do, I'm going to take a moment here to shamelessly plug our album.
Nice. Yeah.
Which is everything that you're hearing tonight is off this album. And the album is called Invention. And it's all Bach inventions and our own original inventions. So if you dig what you hear, you can go online. You can go to my website, Tessa's website, our duo website, larkandthurber.com, or you can just go to iTunes and buy it there. But whatever way you do it, hopefully that tides you over until we can all be together in a person, in a person, in a room, in person, all together. Let's keep playing, shall we?
Yeah, and I guess, did you say this while I was getting excited about shamelessly plugging our CD right here? That pretty much everything except for the solo stuff we'll play later is on this disc.
It sure is. It sure is.
You can find it here if you purchase it in those places.
Yeah. So we'll keep it going.
So we're going to play another sort of medley of sorts with both our music and music by Bach. So we will play some more inventions for you, the B minor invention in G major, and sandwiched between those two, we're going to play a piece of ours called Weather Vane. And this piece was written mostly by Michael, and he was inspired by this weather vane that's on an old house on the property where I grew up in Kentucky. And we were visiting in the fall, and it was this beautiful, poignant, gray, cloudy day, and the wind was blowing the weather vane, and it made this really eerie, squeaky sound. And Michael was really inspired by that whole imagery of the day and the weather vane sound, and that's what inspired this. And you'll hear it right away, sort of teetering in the beginning, and then we have some improvised sections in the middle. Most of our music, when we write it, we just sort of write it with our instruments, but this one was actually a lot of it written down. So there's beautiful, inspired by Bach's beautiful counterpoint, a lot of this, but still has a lot of blues influence in it as well. So here is Bach B minor, our own tune Weather Vane, and then Bach G major.
So we've done it. We've arrived at my favorite point in the night. This next piece is, I think, humbly what I do best, and it's that I put the bass down and I leave the stage, and I let Tessa play a solo. So Tessa, please take us away.
Oh my goodness, no pressure here. So you may have seen me switch fiddles here. Not that this violin that I have been playing is not excellent. It's an amazing Maggini, actually from around 1600, on loan to me from the Stradivari Society of Chicago, and it makes a real mean fiddle, actually. But I am cross-tuning, also known as scordatura by our classical folks, with this violin, and it takes a little while for the fiddle to get used to it. So instead of your regular 4 different pitches of strings, I have 3 D strings and 1 A. So it makes this very drone-like bagpipe quality to it, which you hear a lot in Appalachian fiddle music because of a lot of the Scots-Irish influence and immigration to that Appalachian region of this country. So I'm going to play for you my Appalachian Fantasy. This tune came about because I was making a recording of a bunch of classical fantasies, one of which being Schubert's Amazing Fantasy for violin and piano. But I wanted to pay homage to my home state of Kentucky somehow, and I was trying to figure out how to add a fiddle tune in this majorly classical CD that would sort of make sense in context. And so what I did was actually take the melody that Schubert uses to write variations in his violin piano fantasy, and I made it into an Appalachian style ballad. And at first, putting Schubert into bluegrass and Appalachian didn't sound like the greatest idea, but I think that Schubert's music actually has a lot of similarity to Appalachian and old-time music in its simplicity and profoundness from that simplicity and the poignancy that comes from that. So I took that tune and arranged it a little bit and then made another tune inspired by a Brahms melody that follows that, and I finish off the fantasy with a tune called Bonaparte's Retreat, which Aaron Copland actually uses in his hoedown from Rodeo. So it's a medley of tunes in this cross-tuning, and here it is, Appalachian Fantasy. I hear some authentic Kentucky yelping in this room. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, I appreciate that so much. It's a fun ditty to play. Now, I know, Michael, you said that's the best part for you, but I have to say, I think this is the moment when both of us truly shine. And this moment is when I sit down and Michael gets to take the hot spot.
All right, well, we'll let them be the judge of that. How about that?
That's fine. Fine with me. I'm going to sit. I'm going to ace this part.
All right, this is my favorite song by the Beatles. I hope you guys like it. The blackbird is singing in the dead of night. You take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. The blackbird is singing in the dead of night. You take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly. blackbird is singing in the dead of night. You take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly. Thank you. Okay, it's now that time that we join forces once again, and we're gonna play. We're gonna play an original tune that we wrote. We actually wrote this for two really close friends of ours that live in San Francisco. And every time we go out there to play a gig, we stay with them. They're absolutely just the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. And they have this incredible wine cellar, and they love to celebrate. And so every time you arrive, there's some amazing bottle of wine waiting there, and you start having sips of it, and you start talking about everything and catching up, and there's laughing, and it's just beautiful. And all of a sudden, there's like 5 empty bottles of wine on the table, and all of the problems in the world are completely solved, and everything is incredible. Until you go to bed and you wake up the next morning. And then suddenly things are not quite so incredible, and a lot of those problems are back. They might even be worse. But it's an amazing. It's just the most amazing fun, and we wind up doing it every time we're out there with them. And so we started to coin this feeling of the next day having a case of the Tom and Nancy's, because that's the couple's name, Tom and Nancy. So we wrote a piece sort of depicting an evening and a day with Tom and Nancy, and we called it Tom and Nancied. And that's what we're going to play for you right now. We like to think that even though many of you probably don't know this incredible couple, listening to this music, you'll sort of get an idea of what their spirits are all about. I'll sort of play the role of Tom, and Tessa will play the role of Nancy. So we'll see you in a few. This is Tom and Nancy. Well, this has been totally amazing. Really, like from the bottom of our hearts. This is incredible. I hope all of you out there can feel this wonderful little vibe that we've been feeling in here. Thank you so much for listening. I know we've all done so many live stream watching and Zoom meeting, and I know it can be really exhausting, but it means a lot to us that you've tuned in because we really take this job seriously. Making music is all about sharing love and joy and understanding, articulating things that are hard to articulate in words, let alone over the internet. So we really care about this, and we're so glad that you came and hung out with us. And as for you five back there, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause.
Oh my gosh. The small and mighty crowd, and thank you so much to Atterbury House Concerts, Laura St. John. This is
Laura.
really, yeah. I mean, the year is young, but it has made our year. It's really such a balm to be able to play for live people in such a beautiful venue and such gorgeous energy. Like you were saying, music just feeds us, and after all essentials are taken care of, I don't know how you've been feeling, Michael, but I just need the music and being with all you folks, all you five there, and with you, Laura, and everybody online. This is really, really special. So,
Yeah.
and we can't wait to do this in person at some point, but until then, we are going to play a song of ours for you that we call Until We Meet Again. So this is all for you. So until we meet again, thank you all so much.
Big love, everybody.